Right, a US senator has gone into bat for Australia over Donald Trump's 10% tariff. During a Senate hearing, Democrat Mark Warner grilled Trump's trade representative Jamieson Greer about why Australia was hit with tariffs.
Can you explain to me how, with the trade surplus, with this strong relationship, Australia got hit with a 10% tariff as well?
Senator, Australia has the lowest rate available under the new program.
We have a trade surplus with Australia. We have a free trade agreement. Why? They are an incredibly important national security partner. Why were they whacked with a tariff?
Now, we got excited about this. We wanted to send him some Tim Tams.
Yeah.
Sarah ate it. Anyway, so now we speak to Steve Clemons instead with more. Steve, it is touching to see a senator from a rural state in America stand up for Australia, but unusual. To what do we owe this honour?
Well, look, I mean, I think a lot of people are shocked by the size of these tariffs. That was Senator Mark Warner, who is a Democrat, but there are a lot of Republicans saying the same thing. Australia has got everything right with the United States. Why are we gut punching them? And I think that's what's going on is people are finally saying the administration makes no sense on this front.
Well, the answer, of course, they give.
And by the way, Waleed, the way, that clip is all over TikTok.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. So the Trump administration's response is it's really about our ban on their beef and pork as well, which is about mad cow disease,
right,
as far as Australia is concerned. Do the Republicans, especially those supportive of the president's policy, understand this is a biosecurity issue?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any awareness in this. We haven't had a hit Australia movie, on all the great biodiversity in Australia with crocodiles and koalas. We have tariffed the penguins. There is a lot of awareness about penguins. But no, there's not a basic understanding of that. And so it kind of, it's fair game.
Yeah, I think we need to do a remake of Happy Feet with a more tariff-focused sort of message. Now, the US Treasury Secretary says 70 countries have come forward to negotiate a better deal. Has that been effective? Is that something that Australia should be considering?
Well, how do you get better than a free trade agreement? How do you get better than the fact that Australia, if you do it in Trump's terms, is a loser compared to the United States, which we've got a trade surplus. And I hate to put it in those terms. Australia's got it all right. We have a free trade agreement. It's an incredibly important national security and economic relationship, and it's already balanced. It's hard to get beyond that unless you begin doing things, as Waleed just said, and you begin creating other harms that might affect Australia's biodiversity program. So I don't believe giving into a bully in this sense is the right strategy. We'll have to see what your prime minister thinks, but I think it would be a huge mistake in my view.
Now, quickly, Clemo, Elon Musk has labelled trade advisor Peter Navarro dumber than a sack of bricks. Whoa, that's about the tariff. Who wins that fight?
Well, it's interesting that the president's spokesperson came out and said, oh, boys will be boys. We're just going to let them keep going at each other. That's exactly the line she used. And so we're likely to see a lot more theatrics. But I think that the frustration with these tariffs is so deep and broad beyond party lines that even Elon Musk is now pointing his cannon at the president's kind of chief tariff czar. I think it's going to be a really interesting thing. So get your popcorn.
All right, we shall. We won't import it from you, though, Steve, if that's OK. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
OK, thank you, guys.